Family, how are you today? I hope you're well. I'm Nyanch Kajabi. I am the, let me just tighten this, the CEO and founder of BlaXit. BlaXit is a portmanteau made up of black and exit. It's about our exit from the West back to the best. And of course, that is Africa. I'm a repatriate. I'm a repatriational specialist, and I want to get you back to your spiritual home, your ancestral home. I want to get you back to Africa. I want to get you back to natural living. I want to get you into freedom, into peace, into happiness, into prosperity, into abundance, but back into yourself. Welcome, BlaXit family. Welcome, welcome, welcome. If you're new to BlaXit, thank you. You are welcome to watch BlaXit. We appreciate you viewing the content. We appreciate all of our A1 day ones and all of our veterans who have been with BlaXit from the beginning. And so I can't see very clearly. I'm using a different phone. So please let me know if you can see and hear me. I would like to say thank you firstly. I'll take the sound off on the phone. Let me say thank you firstly to everybody that has been with BlaXit from the beginning, from my A1 day ones, back from the interview with Wode Maya. Thank you so much. I want to say thank you to our moderator today, who's actually, doing wonders. Kafre is doing wonders considering. Thank you so much, Kafre. Thank you for moderating. Let me just put a fan on a little bit hot. Yeah, he's moderating for us today. So thank you, thank you, thank you. I'm not sure if you can see and hear me, if anyone's out there in YouTube land. I did not advertise this particular live because I was finding that I was getting some semblance of interference and issues with the program. So I hope that if I advertise now that I'm live, you will see and hear me. Let me just have a quick look. Just bear with me 1 second, please. I'm just going to advertise the live because I didn't want to do it beforehand because we were having some problems. Oops, sorry. BlaXit is live now. 3 p.m. What's today's date? Okay, so I can see someone. Yeah, comments are back. Yes, comments are back. Yes. Who's my first comment? It's Natural Natuk 2542. You have to forgive me because the writing's very, very small. Maybe I should start wearing my glasses. Natuk 2542 and Akabilan. Thank you so much. Sister, I hope you're well. Yeah, I'm very well, thank you. Yeah, Black power, okay, African power, African unity, African love. This thing keeps twisting. I don't know how to make it stay still. Every time I put it one way, it goes another way. Yes, Akabilan, greetings. How are you? Yeah, Natek 2542. How are you? Yes, we're doing well. Yeah. We are grateful that you are here with us today. Today's going to be a wonderful day. Thank you for saying that you're fine and welcome. Yeah, it's time, we are living in the times of very, very important times for us Africans and Pan-Africans, our brothers and sisters here that I'm living here in the Gambia. I've been living in Gambia for over 7 years. I've been visiting Africa for over 32 years and loving it. And I'm trying to dispel, did you hear me, distill? To dispel all of the lies, okay? I'm trying to, if you like, tell you the truth. And I'm going to do some truth spilling today. Because you know what? Since I come to live in Africa, my life has changed me. Yeah, the village setup. Yes, absolutely. I love it. I absolutely love it. I join your group to help open your eyes more. Thank you so much. You can open my eyes. I'm always willing to learn. I've been living in Africa here for over 7 years. I've been visiting Africa for over 32 years. And I love Africa. I absolutely, I love Africa. I love Africanness and everything that is African, because it is amazing, an absolutely amazing place to be. But I want to tell you some truth, okay? I want to tell you some truth. I honestly today, I want to tell you some truth. I don't think that I've been kind of raw enough about some of the reasons why I left England and I chose to live in Africa, and why I've been African focused. Yeah, we got a lot of projects going, actually. The Black Book Project is still going. I'd like to say congratulations to McConnell for winning the Nigeria Magazine Award with his International Black Books Project. Yeah, we still provide Black books to schools, so we've still got the Black Books projects going. We still help with regard to water and other projects, and of course our citizenship campaigns and so on. All of our projects are still live, okay? Still doing the lighting projects, been providing lighting to area solar projects to remote areas, okay? And of course, I just want to tell you some truth. So I'm going to be reading your comments, reading them out. I am Italist, big up yourself. My A1 day one, okay? You're my veteran, warrior. You know, see me out with me, with the pump pint. Okay, so I want to talk about some things, because they've been trying to bury my voice, okay? They have been trying to bury my voice. And I am tired of it. There's a shadow banning, the smear campaigns, the disinformation campaigns, and I will not let them bury my voice, because you cannot cage thunder. You cannot cage thunder. I'll say it again. You cannot cage thunder, okay? We are the frequency of resistance. And this is the right time. Africa is doing the right thing. More African nations are now restricting and now policing and now changing their policy of how they're letting their resources go to these Western corporations. They're waking up to the deceit, and they are now demanding fairer deals. They're now saying, no, I'm not taking no 5%, no 10%. If it's not 50 and we're not working in partnership and there's other benefits to my country, I'm not renewing your license. I'm not renewing your license to go and mine my minerals in your country. And more countries, African countries, are waking up and taking control. And I am so glad that I am living this. I am alive to see this in 2026. And thank you to all of those African nations that are standing up to the colonizer and saying no more. We are becoming the frequency of resistance around the world, and energy never lies. And the energy of Black unity, African unity, the energy of our uprising, our revolution is now. We are now making them take energetic accountability for their wrongs. We are sick. Let me tell you the truth. I was sick and tired of their anti-social personality disorders. When I was living in the UK, I was sick of the white lies and the white liars. I was sick of the profuse liars, habitual liars, compulsive liars, pathological liars, sociopathical liars, egregious liars, unconscionable liars. I was tired of the chronic liars. I was tired of the manipulative liars. I was tired of the white liars. I was tired of it. Absolutely tired of it. They lie to us about Africa every day, every second, every minute, using their fake media. Congratulations, Arkabilan. Arkabilan says, I did the same thing and I found out where I am in Africa. Thank you so much. Yeah? Listen, let me tell you something. If you want to talk about corruption, let's talk about corruption. Tell me about corruption. Let's talk about what's happening right now in Iran. Let's talk about corruption. Let's talk about what's happening in Palestine right now if you want to talk about corruption. Because thousands of people have come here and are peacefully living happily on their land. Okay? Let's talk about what they're doing and what they're trying to do in Iran with their lies, their white lies. Okay? If you want to talk about that, this is the reason why I also left the UK, because I was sick of living with ASPD, antisocial personality disorder. It's a mental health condition characterized by a long-term pattern of manipulating, exploiting, or violating the rights of others. That's what it is. And that's what we're living with. And that's why I said I can't stand it. I couldn't get out. I didn't want to be there anymore. I was tired of it. Tired of the antisocial personality disorder people, ASPD. It's a mental health condition characterized by a long-term pattern of manipulating, exploiting, or violating the rights of others. And that's all they do. And individuals with ASPD often behave irresponsibly. They behave aggressively and impulsively, and frequently they break laws and they show little or no remorse for their actions. Isn't that what they did to us? Do we have reparations yet? Do we have reparations yet? What about the corrupt dealing of slavery for 300 years? What about the corrupt dealing of Jim Crow? What about the corrupt dealings that we had during civil rights? What about the assassination of African leaders? Let's talk about that corruption. They have a lack of remorse. They have indifference or rationalization. And they have a willingness. Let me say this again. They have a willingness to hurt others, okay? They have a willingness to hurt others. Tell me, who does that sound like to you? This is what I got sick and tired of, their behavior. The key characteristics of the ASPD, right? Its symptoms are disregard for right or wrong. They have no regard for right or wrong. They just use us like batteries. You don't see? I've got another report I want to read to you from the MOJ, which I want to read to you about what they're trying to do and how we can use population control to our benefit. We can use population control to our benefit, okay? The key symptoms is a disregard for right or wrong. And they don't care that's right or wrong as long as they benefit. They have a lack of moral conscience and a violation of social norms. They have manipulative behavior using charm, wit, or deceit to con others for personal gain. Impulsivity, they failing to plan ahead and act recklessly without regard for safety. Aggression, frequently irritable, physical fights or violent behavior. They have a lack of remorse, indifference, rationalization, or they don't care about whether they hurt or mistreat others. Their irresponsibility is a consistent failure to sustain work behavior or honor financial obligations. Isn't that what they've done to us? What happened to our 40 acres and a mule? They say the cause is unknown. I think it's hereditary. I think you're living in a society of white lies, and I'm tired of it. That's why I left. I got tired of it. And now it's worse. They say they don't know the exact cause. Yeah, but they say it's believed to be a result of combination of genetic factors and environmental influences, such as child abuse, neglect, and having an alcoholic or antisocial parents or environment. The diagnosis and treatment for it is leave their white asses alone and come to Africa. Okay? That's the diagnosis. Because this is a pattern of behavior that starts with them and continues with them and is still continue with them. They say they got to have cognitive behavior therapy. They don't want it because they don't care. They don't care. This is what they have, and this is what you're living with. Okay? They're white liars. They're profuse liars, habitual liars, compulsive liars, pathological liars, sociopathic liars. They're egregious liars. They're unconscionable liars. They are chronic liars. They are compulsive liars. They're chronic liars. They convince people, that there was a threat why they went into Iran. They're convincing you, that Africa is not a good place. It's not a better place to live. They're chronic liars. They're compulsive, habitual, sociological liars. They're white liars. You don't know about a white lie? A white lie is to tell a small, seemingly harmless lies to protect feelings or to maintain social decorum. That's what they've been doing. We've been living under the white lie. And I got sick and tired of living under the white lie. This so-called nice life that we were supposed to be living in a so-called superior England. What was so superior about that? There was nothing superior about living in England. There is nothing superior about living in England. And when I went to America, there was nothing superior about living there either. They fooled us. Well, they come and take our best properties and come and live out here in the sun. They put us to go and work for them, to make their businesses, to make their money. While they're living out here, taking our resources, taking our prime land. They're defensive liars. They lie to protect themselves from consequences and blame. They still haven't fully taken blame for what they did to our ancestors during slavery. They haven't taken blame for all of the African leaders that they have killed. They have not taken blame for apartheid. They have not taken blame for the killing of our civil rights leaders. They have not taken blame for all the deaths of black people unnecessarily, African people unnecessarily. They have not taken blame for 400 years of slavery. They're pathetic liars. They lie to be liked or to avoid conflict or to create conflict. And their core motivations for lying is to be deceitful, to hide the truth, or to create false facts. And that's what they're doing right now. You can watch mainstream media and all you see is lie after lie after lie after lie. Oh, this war will only take 2 days. This war will take 3 days. Oh, this is happening in Africa. That is happening in Africa. What a load of bullcop baloney. Yeah? They're delusional. They're duplicitous. They're deceitful. They're demoralized. It's important to understand the intention behind the lie, right? Whether it's to protect themselves defensively or whether it's to gain an advantage, which is predatory, and they are predators. They are predators. They lie to protect themselves and then they lie. They lie to gain advantage. They're predators. And you can spot them every single time. It's a persistent, pervasive pattern of behavior. And their excessive lying has become so obvious. That's why I say it's time to come out and it's time to come to Africa. What they say is good is bad, and what they say is bad is good. Honestly, it's got to that stage where the lies have become indefinable or undefinable, whatever. Their fabrications are just destructive right now. And we have to see that they've been lying about Africa, lying about your life in Africa, lying about the truth about Africa. They want to talk about Africa's corruption. What part of corruption are they talking about? Now, when they're talking about they want to raise the age of you working, I'm going to read this report about people in England. They want you to raise, they're talking about in the future raising, so our children, their age of having a pension will be 75. They want to kill us. There's nothing great about Britain. Juliet, your bud. I'm just going to read your comments, okay? Okay, so Akabin, you can call me. Let me give you my number. It's plus 220-240. You think I'm talking randomly. Let me read the comment. Okay, so Akabilan, yeah, I would like to contact you because I need to have a phone conversation with you. I have a lot to tell you. Please call me. My number is plus 220. The text line is plus 220. Text me and we'll arrange a time to talk. It's plus 220-240-5273. Mod, can you put it in the comments for me, please? Plus 220-240-5273. Natuk said, Juliet, you're bad. So yeah, teach them, yes. Okay, there's nothing good, great about Britain. Nothing at all, nothing at all, nothing at all. We need to get out. Listen, the reason why I'm doing this is because we need to get out of America. And I'm telling you, my brothers and sisters out there in America, and I'm telling you, my brothers and sisters out there in Europe, okay, especially, and even the Caribbean, we have to start being careful. We have to start watching. Even Brazil, we have to start watching. Colombia, we have to start watching. Yeah, we have to start watching. Okay, G-Wood 9, Hotep. Our Kebilan said we need to educate a black man's mind before we can be able to understand what you're saying right now. Okay, let me tell you about the black man's mind. The black man's mind, okay, has been under attack. Has been under attack. Consistently under a mind control program. You think Montauk and all these programs were rubbish? They weren't. You think Tavistock Institute is a created idea, boom, out of the mind? No, it's not. You think that HARP doesn't have that, which is the High Aureal Radiancy project, it doesn't have the potential to change mind frequencies. We all operate on frequencies. And yes, they have been targeting the black man's mind. They've been, one, making the black man not understand what it is to be a man. To understand his role. They've tried to make the black man like a sex slave, like what they did during slavery. So making him promiscuous. And then they try to de-emasculate the black man. Okay? To effeminate the black man. So take away his masculinity. Yes, we all have, like they say, male and female and whatever inside us, but what they're doing is using foods and chemicals to debalance, to imbalance the Juliet, get this word out, estrogen and testosterone. Okay, they're trying to imbalance it and they're doing it intentionally. And then they're introducing things such as homosexuality, which they're doing is desensitizing it and normalizing it. And what they're doing is taking the man away from his role of protecting, essentially protecting the black woman and also protecting his family and providing for his family. So by making these men promiscuous and not understand the importance of commitment, responsibility, understanding their role as a man in terms of, one, understanding what masculinity is, not defined in European context. No. Not defined in a European context. In terms of understanding his warrior spirit, in understanding his soldier spirit, in understanding his ability to be fearless. In understanding his ability to be fearless, in understanding that you don't have to beat a child in order to discipline a child, in understanding that he can have self-discipline, in understanding spiritual, universal, and ancestral laws, understanding right from wrong, understanding self-control and self-discipline. No, I'm not going to smoke. No, I'm not going to drink. No, I'm not going to be promiscuous. No, I can control myself sexually. No, I am not going to be tempted. No, I am going to be loyal. Yes, I am going to be faithful. Yes, I am going to be the gatekeeper of my family. They're eroding that on a daily basis. They're trying to make all our men into DLs and batty man. You understand? Making them go in the wrong place, the wrong place, the wrong place, the wrong entry. They're going in the no entry area. They're going in the no entry area. They're supposed to not be. What are you being affectionate to a man for? You're sick in your head. What are you being intimate for a woman? You're supposed to be having open signs of affection to a woman, not a man. What's all these man clubs where man is going and bathing together? What are you doing? What are you doing? That's the white thing. Leave them to them nastiness. We have to have a school of masculinity. We need divine masculinity, not all this karmic, loose, nasty, disgusting men that are abandoned runners. They can't even stand up. They're weak. Strong man starts stepping upwards. I'm tired of these weak-ass men. A little smell of pussy and they're off again. They can't even stand up to responsibility. They can't stand by their woman. They're weak. I'm tired of weak men. We need strong men. We need soldiers. We need warriors. You're putting too much on the shoulders of women, abandoning your children, leaving your children behind to be raised by a woman, to make another dysfunctional man come into the family when it's your role. Why? Because you can't control your bitterness. You can't control that thing between your legs. You got no self-control. You got no self-dignity, no self-honor, no self-respect. What are you? You're nothing. Clout chasing, people pleasing, pieces of nothing. Rise up, all black men. Rise up, warriors. Strong men, step forward now. And black women, I'm going to talk about you. We have to also step up as well. Stop allowing men to abuse you and misuse you. There are too many narcissistic, nasty, disgusting men that are just sex addicts. Pornography addicts. Using women like batteries, like prostitutes. It has to stop. Since when? Since when were we like this? They're giving us overexposure and are giving our children overexposure to sexuality. Sexuality is not that. Making love is a sacred act. It's a sacred act. More of us need to be celibate and single until we find our kingdom spouse or our queendom spouse. Our divine masculine and our divine feminine. Too many men out there, they go out lying when they got their wife at home. They're liars, compulsive, pathological, habitual liars. Why? They got their partner there, they're out there cheating. Liars and deceiving, lying and saying that they're not, oh, that relationship broke up when it never. Stop it. We have to stop this cycle of deceit. We have repatriation plots. Sorry, I get very passionate, because I want my people to raise up. I want us to be healed. And the only way to be healed is to recognize our behaviors and change them. Because when you're in an honorable, upstanding, honest relationship, you don't need to lie. You don't need to deceive. You honor that woman. And you will realize it's not just about impulses. It's not about sexual impulses. Because listen, you can go with a woman. She can look so beautiful on the outside. And she can be as sick as a dog with HIV and AIDS on the inside. And you go in there raw. And then you go and bring that back to your wife. Bring that back to your woman. And then you're going everywhere, sleeping with prostitutes, going to strip clubs, going to all these nasty places, going to sex clubs. And then you start getting pulled into their nasty threesomes and their nasty twosomes and their nasty same-sex activity. It's nastiness. And then we're trying to normalize it and confuse people. Oh no, but if you're a woman but you want to be a man, it's okay. No, it's not okay. You are what you are. It's either you're a man or a woman. It's either you're a man or a woman. There's no trans. You're not in between, over or under or nothing. And you're not going out confusing no man, pretending to be a woman. And when he sleeps with you, he finds out that now he's gay because he slept with a man. No. No. And women, it's time for us not to accept. We have to set standards for the men that we engage in. I see one woman on social media telling me, oh, you know, she's been a sneaky link. She's been a sneaky link for 13 years. Disgusting. Disgraceful behavior. Where's our standards? I'm just having a drink of water. Where's our standards? When did our standards get so low? How did our standards get so low? When did we lose self-respect? When did we lose honor? When did we lose ourselves? When did we think that it's okay for same-sex behavior? When did we think that that was okay? It's not okay. It's not right. We have to know the difference between right and wrong. Is it ma'at or is it isfet? That's destruction. That's not procreation. Procreation is a man and a woman laying down and having a baby, and that man raising that child and being with that woman to have that child. Where is it that man think it's okay to put their hands on a woman? Where does that make sense? Or a woman to put her hands on a man? Since when our levels of respect for each other has gone so low that we think it's okay to hurt another human being who we claim to love? No, it's not right. It's not right. You understand? It's not right. You know, a lot of these liars, like I was talking to you, right? Spotting a pathological liar, right, involves a lot of different things, but it's looking for persistent, pervasive pattern of behavior, especially excessive lying. They often defined by experts as lying 5 or more times daily for at least 6 months. And who do we see doing that? Donald Duck. Right now, the leader of America, Donald Duck, is lying everywhere. Every time you see it's another rinked lie. Oh, yes, I've got the agreement of all of these different nations. Lie. Oh, yes, I spoke to this person in Iran about what's happening. Lie. Oh, yes, the war's going to be 2 or 3. Lie, 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 lie. And they're all lying. They're all lying. They're all lying. They want to roll out 6G. Let me tell you something. There's a lot of things happening. They even got weather machines now, right, that can direct lightning. All right. And they're trying to use it, right? They're going to try to use it. There's going to be a lot of new weapons that they're going to be rolling out. You think what they're doing? They're testing their weapons, new weapons. And listen, we ain't going to be a part of this. It's time to get the F out. Yes, we have repatriated. We had 8. But now I think 5 of them are reserved. So there's just 3 left in the new estate. There's only 3 left. I'm really sorry, but they do go fast. These repatriation plans go very, very fast. So I'm going to need you, if you're interested, text us so I can reserve your plot. Reserving a plot is free. Okay, reserving a plot is free. On some of the plots, yes, we did payment plans, but not on all. So I have to check which ones are payment plans and which ones aren't, okay? But 95 meters by 45 meters by the Canton Riviera has gone. It's gone. Yeah. And then on top of that, another 5 plots were reserved this week. So I want you to come home. I want you to come to Africa. Africa, the living is so nice. I cannot, listen, I wish I'd have done this earlier. You know, my life in England was like hell. Like hell on earth. Living in Africa is like heaven on earth. They lied to us. Heaven is here, but it's in Africa. We don't have to die to go nowhere. It's right here. Right? And I was telling you, right, that, you know, and the thing is, one thing about, unlike normal liars, their fabrications often they lack clear benefit, and they can also be very self-destructive. Now, what are they doing? All of their lies. Oh, we were going for Iran first before they hit us. No, it's Israel that have been planning to do it and been telling lies on Iran for years, saying that they had weapons of mass destruction and that they were this close to making a nuke. How can you be this close to making a nuke for 20 years? You're a liar. Nearly caught myself in my language. I apologize for that. Okay? But key behavioral signs, if you don't believe me that they're lies, and get out. Right? It's extensive and dramatic details, right? Stories are often elaborate, Donald Duck, right? Dramatic, Donald Duck, right? Stories that are theatrical, Donald Duck, and include unverifiable specifics, Donald Duck, right? To make them seem more realistic, Donald Duck. Inconsistent narratives, Donald Duck, because they lie so frequently that they lose track of their stories. So they start talking about other things. Donald Duck. Oh, look at the ballroom. Isn't it nice? Right? Oh, look at the statue. Isn't it wonderful? Right? Donald Duck. Right? They lead to non-stop, constant contradictions. Donald Duck, and constantly changing details. This is who you want to live under, into control. They want to talk about African leaders. African leaders ain't got nothing on this Donald Duck. Aggressive defensiveness. Aggressive defensiveness. They lie about how many people have died in the war. They're lying, they're lying, they're lying, they're lying. And what I want to tell you, they're lying about Africa as well. And let me tell you, Nigeria, if they don't get what they want in Iran, if they don't get all of what they want in Venezuela, they're coming for us next. So we have to prepare. Africa has to unite. Africa has to create a united defense force for what he's doing in Iran, right? They have the Strait of Hormuz, so they can protect themselves, but they're planning to go out and bomb that, okay? Now they're doing different sanctions. Now they're playing with sanctions. They sanctioned over time 20 different African countries. We have to get out of the control of the IMF, get out of the control of the World Bank, get out of their control. We have to stop taking their loans. We have to start standing on our 2 feet and making, strategic alliances. But the first thing is to work together. When you look at Donald Trump and you look at all of them, Donald Duck, right? And you look at all of them, they have this unfazed body language, right? And that is the traditional sign, right? Like they avoid eye contact and their eye contact looks here, looks there, especially when they ask a direct question, especially an honest one. Did you bomb that school of girls? No, they're not looking, right? Oh, I'm not sure about that. Look at the eye contact. It goes all over the place. The reason why is because it's absent. The reason why, because they're lying. Or they do the opposite. They give intense and hold it, right? Because they're accustomed to lying. And the verbal red flags to watch out for. This is why I'm thinking they're lying about Africa. You're seeing all these stories coming out about Africa on the news because they're trying to deflect, right? The verbal red flags, they're vague and they're very evasive with their answers, especially when they're talking about Captain Ibrahim Traore, yeah? They may give like unrequested or excessive information on minor points and become vague when asked direct questions about core facts. So was it an American Tomahawk that bombed it? I don't have enough information. I can't answer that right now. You killed a school with 170 children or whatever, right? So you went into Nigeria and you bombed a field. Oh no, well we actually, we were, that was a successful program and we did what? You understand? So they don't talk in core facts. Watch these liars. When they talk about Africa, they'll go and try and find the most impoverished place to go and film to show you. They're not going to go and show you, oh, look, this is the malls, this is the business quarter. No, they're trying to do it, and it's putting you off coming to Africa. Don't believe them. I'm living a lovely life. All right? A lovely, lovely life. A better life than I had in England, right? And a much better life than I would have had in America. Just make your money there and get out. Okay? Al-Kabilan, how much I will love to have mine. Yes, they're all different prices, they're all different sizes. and all different locations. Okay? Wode Maya said Israel is planning to create a military base in Somaliland. Listen, not just Somaliland. Look, they're trying to do Egypt, Syria, all the way across. You don't hear that they have this prophecy. But they're not going to win. Let me tell you right now, we're going to call righteous judgment on them. Netanyahu, Trump, call righteous judgment on them. Call ancestors, destroy them. Call righteous judgment, because what is happening is wrong. And we must know right from wrong. Every single person, any single person of color must know that this is wrong. Them Satanists, them devil worshippers, them Babylonians, the Babylon upon them. Bond them. Call righteous judgment on them. Sorry, I just saw a message come in. Thank you, Neely. He's one of my favorite people from when I was very young. Thank you, Neil. It's lovely to hear from you. Right? Call righteous judgment on them. So what they do is, another thing, what they do, right, is other than giving unrequested information to divert your attention, they give excessive information in other areas where it's not requested. Okay, and then they do what they ignore core facts. They don't give you core facts, and they don't answer direct questions. I want you to watch this right now. Okay, they pass off stories. They might retell someone else's life experience or a story they heard as if it happened to them personally. I lie them, I tell. When they said that they went and they had the woman, they put her, I've forgotten her name, they put her on the spot and asked, so did you advise that there was nuclear capability for weapons in Iran, yes or no? Oh, well, you know, the man said, I'm asking you, I'm saving my time, I'm yielding my time, I yield my time. And the woman starts going this way, going that way. So he said, did you give a report saying that there was no such thing in Iran? And she had to say, around, what did she have to say? She had to acquiesce. Because that's what they try and do. And I want you to watch now for the gaslighting. I want you to watch for the gaslighting. When confronted, they may attempt to manipulate, and that's what they do. They manipulate. Gaslighting is to deceive you. Yeah? Gaslighting is when confronted, they may attempt to manipulate your sense of reality. So no, it's not what you thought it was. No, that's not what I said. When it's exactly what they said. And if you watch Donald Duck, and if you watch all of these world leaders, right, some of them right now, watch the manipulation, watch the ride, watch exactly what is going on. This is what they're doing. And they're doing it to avoid accountability because they want to make other people feel crazy for questioning. That's what they're doing with some of these journalists. They're even bombing journalists. But don't expect the truth from a liar, okay? Even with undeniable proof, they will still lie. And I'm giving you undeniable proof. Africa is a lovely place to live. I can give you individual countries, okay, that I have been to that I think are wonderful places that are safe and lovely to go to. If you want more information, I can tell you. I've made programs about this before, but I can tell you other people that have repatriated and are very happy in those countries. Okay? And they will never admit to lying because they're a liar. And they will never apologize. Never apologize. They will never be accountable because a liar is a liar through and through. They have no remorse. Excuse me. Sorry, let me have a... They have absolutely no remorse. And they're calm. They avoid emotional outbursts. That's another thing. They act cool and smooth. So when you have an emotional outburst, they try and figure it like, oh, you're mad, you're crazy. And that's what they've been doing to us. Oh, if we talk, we're loud, we're aggressive. You know what? Well, that's why I like being in Africa, because you know what? I can be myself. But I got sick and tired of living with the liars. They're liars. They lie to us about Africa. They lie to us about the good life we could be having here. They lie to us about how insanitary Africa is. They lie to us, they lie to us, they lie to us about everything. They just want us to hate each other. And that has to stop, because right now we need to unite. We need to unite, especially now. You don't think this is World War III? I said how many months ago I did a BlaXit, and I said it. You don't think Israel is going to go and get a nuke? This nuke that they're going to try and fire for, it's going to get dismantled. It's not going to go off in the way in which they think, but they're going to launch a nuke. They're going to try and show, and it's going to show the hypocrisy of nations like America that's having nuclear arms. And listen, we have to stop associating ourselves with the places that we were taken to during slavery. We are Africans. We were just born there. I am not English. Because I was born in England, I am African. That's how they're trying to fool us, to make us their batteries and work for them like slaves. Like slaves. I want to tell you, right? I want to read this report to you, because this is very important, that we need to get out of the land of the liars. We need to get out of the land of the liars. The habitual, the profuse liars. And we have to get out of the land of the liars, okay? I want to read this report to you. It says, and this is about the UK, and I think something similar also applies to America, but I'm just going to read this to you. The population, right, from 1 in 5 today to 1 in 4 within 2 decades, right? This report, right, also finds that Britain now needs almost 250,000. Listen to me. This is why I said population control. We need to control our population and take our population out of their nations, and it will destabilize them. It will destabilize them. Listen to this report, please, yeah? This report also finds that Britain now needs 250,000 additional births per year to maintain the stable population. In 2024, there were just 831,075 people turning 50, but just 594,677 births, leaving a birth gap of around 30%. The think tank argues that without a reversal in declining birth rates, younger generations will face growing fiscal pressure, as they are expected to fund pensions, healthcare, and care costs for an increasingly elderly population. The report emphasizes, I'm going to explain to you why this doesn't affect Africa in the same way, okay? The report emphasizes that the pension system is funded by current taxpayers rather than individuals saving for their own retirement, meaning that the sustainable system depends on a sufficiency of a large working age population. The CSJ also notes that high levels of immigration have temporarily slowed down the demographic shift, but cannot solve the underlying problem, as age and fertility rates among migrants also tend to fall over time. The report states that falling birth rates are largely driven not by smaller families, but by a rising number of women never becoming mothers at all. And why? Because they don't want to be single parents, okay? Often because family formation is delayed by economic and social pressures. Its analysis suggests that around 3 million women aged 16 to 45 today are projected not to have children under current trends. If motherhood rates match these seen among their grandparents' generation, figure will be closer to 2.4 million. That means that around 600,000 women today may miss out on motherhood compared with other patterns of family formation, many of whom have hoped to start families but faced growing barriers to do so. The report therefore calls for a renewed focus on supporting family formation earlier in adulthood, arguing that Britain must begin addressing the social and economic barriers that prevent people from having the children they hope for. Edward Davies Research Centre at the Centre for Social Justice, said Edward Davies at the Research Centre, he's the director of the Centre for Social Justice. Britain, listen to this. He said, Britain is heading off a Britain is heading off a demographic cliff. When fewer children are born, fewer workers enter the labour force. And the burden of supporting an aging population falls on a shrinking number of taxpayers. Time for us to leave. Yeah? He said, if we try to maintain today's balance between workers and pensioners, children in school today could be working well into their 70s. You hear me? Into their 70s. Before they can qualify for a state pension. Who wants to go and work for these white folk until they're 70, in your 70s, until you can qualify for a pension? Listen, it's time to take our early pension. I retired at 47 and I have no regrets. Okay? I have no regrets. I want to read your comments. Okay? Anyway, this is what he said. This reflects, listen, a catastrophic failure to support the next generation of families. This is why we have to leave. Africa has the youngest growing population in the world. In the world. And they're not telling you that we need population control. We need to control our population by leaving the white nations and coming back to Africa. We need to bring our resources, bring our money. We need to bring our skills. We need to bring our intellect, bring our wisdom, leave all their brainwashing and the BS and the bad behavior there, and bring our good selves over here. This reflects a catastrophic failure to support the next generation of families. Most young people still want children, but too many feel unable to have them. If we want a sustainable economy and a society that cares properly for the elderly, we must start taking families serious again. Now they're worried. Now they're worried. We must start taking family serious again. We have to start taking family serious, and we need family, and family's Africa. They're not our family. We need population growth. Give me some thanks and some thumbs up, please. It helps with the algorithms. You know that they're on me. You know they're on me. They demonetize me. You know that they're doing my views in. They're doing everything. You know, but I'm not going to shut up. They're not going to bury me because I told you you can't cage thunder. You cannot cage thunder. Okay, so I'm going to read your comments now. Thank you so much. Okay. So Kabilan says, okay, I will contact you. You have my number, okay? So +220 240 5273. Yeah? Ayako Kefua said they are destroyers. They are the ultimate destroyers. I told you, Isfet Ol Ma'at. Isfet Ol Ma'at. Isfet is them. Therefore, destruction of life, destruction of everything. We are Ma'at. We are harmony. We are peace. We are nature. We are unity. And they have done everything to try and destroy us. And it's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. Let me tell you something. Africa needs to unite. But we need the diaspora. We need to come together. And we all need to come together under African soil. We are the children of the soil. We are the divine beings. Black women's DNA have every mitochondrial DNA for every being on this planet. Every human being on this planet is held in black women's DNA. That is the reason why Epstein was doing all that, all of the investigations that he was doing. You think he was doing all those biological investigations into black women for nothing? The man's a Babylonian. He's a demon, devil, monster. Okay, so what's that? Algermon Alexis 448. I haven't seen you live for some time. Why not? Where have you been? Where have you been? What have you been doing? Every Sunday, nearly every Sunday, unless I'm sick or something, or I got to work, I'm here. Okay. So where have you been? I miss you too. Okay. I miss you. Please join the lives. Join the lives. We're still here. I'm still calling you back. Yeah. BlaXit. It's about calling you back to Africa. Okay. It's about getting you back home, out from the West back to the best. Okay, I told you already, the only way to eradicate racism, fascism, imperialism, colonialism is to leave it behind and come and live with your own kind. That's the only way we're going to heal each other and heal ourselves. Okay, Ayoko Kafula said, black bodies in the US feeds and sustains all systems. USA white population has decreased by 8.4% from 2010 to 2020, according to the US Census. I'm going to read that again. Akoya Fuya, thank you. Yeah. Black bodies in the US feeds and sustains all systems. Very true. That's what I said. If we depopulate, we control. If we depopulate, if we leave, we can change the world. We want world peace. We're the people that can bring world peace by unifying, but we have to be healed. We have to be healed because we're damaged by their systems. We're damaged by their psychology. We're damaged by their sociology. We're damaged by their education. We're damaged by their religions. We're damaged by their systems. We're damaged by the racism. We're damaged by the discrimination. We're damaged by fear. They made us fearful when we should be fearless. So I'm going to read it again. Ayoka Fuller said, black bodies in the US feeds and sustain all systems. USA white population has decreased from 8.4% from 2010 to 2020. That's a huge margin, right? According to the US Census. Yeah, Ayo Kafua said the rest of Europe's white population is decreasing as well. This is what the report I just read to you. This report was out this week, where they're saying that my children will be retiring at 75. Are you sick in your head? Listen, let me tell you something. What do you doubt? Uncle is a cracker? Were you Jacob's cracker? I couldn't resist that. I'm so sorry. He's a white cracker. Right, listen. I'm going to end because I didn't even realize my hour's up. I didn't even get to talk about a few things and I didn't address some questions. So let me quickly address some questions. Yes, we still have repatriation land. Yes, repatriation land is still available. Yes, we can help you to build your house. Yes, we have architects. Yes, we have contractors. And yes, we can help you to get your residency. Yes, we can know if you're coming from Jamaica, you don't need a visa. Yes, if you're coming from America, you do. What's the other question? Wait, I got all these questions on my WhatsApp, so I'm doing it. No, and in Africa, you don't have to be afraid of being different. No, you don't. Yeah. And yes, you can wake up and you can be who you're supposed to be and not what people want you to be. Okay. Yes, you can wake up and be who you are supposed to be and not what white folks want you to be. Okay. I want you to love yourselves, BlaXit family. Okay. The time for liberation has arrived. It's time for us to say no more. Okay. It's time to say enough is enough is enough. Time to put our monies down. Time for us to start to plan. And remember, not everyone is going to like your plans. Okay. Not everyone is going to understand. It's just the few. It's just the few are going to be able to escape. And the reason why, like Harriet Tubman said, it's the mind. If they understood that they were slaves, they would have escaped, but their mind wouldn't allow them to think they're slaves. But listen, let me tell you something. I was watching, I think it was, Beyonce the other day. And I was thinking, why is this woman working? Got her daughter on the stage working. She's made all this money. Why is she still working? Because you're working for a record company, because you're working for a label, because you're working for a publisher, because you're working for a manager, because you're working for an agent. When's enough enough? When can you just be at peace? When can you be? I wouldn't swap that lifestyle. Listen, give me Africa, give me peace. Today I can go to the Riviera. I can sit there and go and, eat whatever I want to eat. I can relax down by the beach. I can even sit down right now and go and see, what I want to watch, what I want to listen to, do what I want to do, without feeling pressured about having to go to work tomorrow, because I don't work on Mondays. Mondays became me days. So Monday is me day. That's my day for me. What day do they give you for you? Weekends, you planning to do what you have to do in order to get back onto the whole slavery for the next week. Saturday shopping for the next week. Sundays cleaning, cooking, ironing, doing whatever you have for the next week. Listen, I want me day back again. I love the beach in Gambia, so do I. Okay, so listen, let me contact me quickly, because Serenity Estate number 2, which is in Khartoum, which is the Gambian Riviera, there was 8 plots and 5 of them have been reserved. There's only 3 left. Okay, and remember, we do as much as we can to consult you, but you must keep up with your payment plans. I'm going to tell you this. I have some people that are falling behind with their payment plans. I'm not talking anyone's business or anything like that, but you must keep up. You must be responsible. Part of coming back to Africa is about being responsible, and we must be responsible. Okay, even me myself, if there's something I'm slipping on and I know that I have to do it, I have to do it, and I'm making plans to do it, and I will do it, because we all have to. Okay, that's all. Okay, so let me just Aseo. Okay, so listen, we're gone over the hour, but I will say it's about population. It's about population control. By controlling our own population numbers in their countries, we can change their population, and we can actually have impact on their nation, because we pay taxes and we work and we contribute, and we're batteries to their system. Okay, and we're part of the backbone of their system. If we leave, especially in America and other parts, and we should focus on America, if we leave, right, it will impact upon itself. It will impact upon itself. Muhammad Ali, how are you? Thank you for that. You like my hat? Hello. And Paulette, how are you? Paulette Parker, how are you? Yeah. So listen, you caught me at the end of the program. And I hope you enjoyed the live. Like I said, yeah, we're living with these people. And I'm going to just, briefly remind you about Margaret Sanger, okay? And Margaret Sanger, she pioneered American birth control. If you remember Margaret Sanger from 1879 to 1966, she pioneered American birth control. That was aimed at us, right? That was aimed at us, okay? So she pioneered this movement, advocated for contraception to empower women. So you remember the report I just read about women choosing not to have children, okay? To empower women. But she also aligned with the early 20th century eugenics movement, right? A discredited ideology that believed that limiting the overfertility of those deemed unfit, and she was talking about us, by the way, right? Including poor and disabled, right? And when they say poor, it was actually black people, because it was a racist thing. But they try and change it, right? So and the whole initiative was called Planned Parenthood, but now it's not working for them, because guess what? People are choosing not to have children in their population. So what we do now is the time to leave. Now they're not having any more babies, right? And now they can't support their elderly. Now is the time to leave. Because remember, in Africa, we take care of our elderly. We have family values. We don't go and put our old people in a home. We take care of ourselves. We take care of each other, okay? Yeah, Bill Gates' father raised funds for her. That's correct, yeah? All power to our people. Absolutely correct. Thank you, Ayo. Yeah, thank you so much, right? What I wanted to tell you is that key aspects of Margaret Sanger's connection to eugenics is that she had this ideology. Now, I want us all to remember that we need to have one ideal, in that we are Africans and we need to unite. We are all Africans and we need to unite. We need to have the ideology. We are all Africans and we need to unite. We are all Africans, we need to come back home. We are all Africans, we need to improve our home. We need to have that. We need to protect our home. We need to protect our resources. We need to have that, because they have their own ideologies and we need to have ours, and we need to be African first. Yeah? Their ideological alignment, and we need to be in alignment, that's for sure, because they have their own ideological alignments, okay? She supported eugenics as a way to improve quality of the population through birth control, using slogans like quality, not quantity, right? What we need, yeah, is to make sure that their quantity is low and our quality and our high quality of people that are coming to Africa is high, okay? Leave them with their unfit people, yeah? She advocated for restricting reproduction among individuals with disabilities, mental health issues, and those she considered socially disadvantaged. And that was us, African people, okay? The goal that she wrote, the most urgent problem today is how to limit and discourage the overfertility of the mental and physically defective, distinction, right, from racist eugenics. Right? That's what they said, but that's not true. Because if you look at the Epstein reports, it's all about racist eugenics, okay? While she worked in some proponents of racist eugenics, which she did, right? She tried to distance herself from the race-biased policies, but that is exactly what they were about. They say one thing, they're liars, they're liars, they're liars. They say one thing, do another, okay? They say one thing, do another. What we have to do is now do our own eugenics. We need to populate. We need to come together. We need to populate and have proper families. Proper families again. Women, if you're out there sleeping with another woman's husband, stop it. Have dignity, have self-respect. Go and find yourself a single man. Stop being a home wrecker. I know what it is because I had one in my own house. You think you're doing good by helping others, but sometimes you're making a bind for your own back. But it doesn't matter because she done me a favor anyway. You know how hard it is to live with an abhorrent, overt narcissist? It's not easy. And we have to stop this narcissism. It's a Europeanism that we do not need. We have to stop it. We have to stop acting like Europeans. We have to stop acting like Europeans. Time to go back to being African. So listen, I'm going to love you and leave you, BlaXit family, okay? Like I said, these people, right? These people are not well. I described to you at the beginning, and I'm not going to, there's something else that I wanted to announce as well. They have ASPD, okay, antisocial personality disorder, and we need to stop living among them. They have ASPD, and it's a mental health condition characterized as a long-term pattern of manipulating, exploiting, and violating the rights of others, okay? They behave irresponsibly, aggressively, and impulsively, and they frequently break laws and show little to no remorse for their actions. This is what they are, and that is defined by their own Cleveland Clinic. Barry 132, Kendrick Lamar said it best. They're not like us. Yeah, you're not. He's absolutely on. He's on point. Okay, so SK D. Lauren says, greetings, BlaXit family. I agree with you, yeah. Ask Mboka 5917 says, hi, greetings. And thank you, Barrier 132. Muhammad Ali says, and Africa is twice big on the map. It is, absolutely, you're right. And Ayo Kafua said, community is key. Right? So on that note, community is key. Community is key. But now it's time for us to take control of our population control. I told you, we don't need to be living with people with ASPD. They're the ASPD crew. I've defined it to you now. Antisocial personality disorder. That's not how we live. We live as community. We live as family. We live as people. We live as one. All these kinds of, dog eat dog, nasty, bad behavior, killing each other, hurting each other, damaging each other, disrespecting each other. We need to come together, and respect is key. Respect is key. Black woman and black man, African man and African woman, we have to respect one another. That is paramount. Stop lying to each other. Stop deceiving each other. It's absolutely disgusting. And stop being, stop being male whores and stop being female whores. Stop it. Stop it. Have some dignity and self-respect. Stop being promiscuous. Your body is your temple. Your body is sacred. Every person that you go out to, you don't even know who's got what. There's spiritually transmitted disease and spiritually transmitted demons out there. Do not, because they're sleeping with white people and then they're bringing their white people's demons into our community. These DL men sleeping with men and coming back to their wives with feces all over them. Disgusting. It has to stop. A lot of people won't talk about it, but I'll talk about it. Whether people like it or they don't like it, I'll say it. Men being irresponsible with their children. Stop it. Go and give money for your child. Go and see your child. Help raise your child. That woman never brought that child into this world on her own. You have a responsibility. Stand up to it. Stand on it. Men are too busy being directed by their penis and their erection. Stop it. It's disgusting. Have standards. That's what they are. That's not what we are. They are the orgies. They are the sexual deviants. We are not. We are divine beings and we must act as such. BlaXit family. Forwards ever, backwards never. Let's keep moving forward. Let's keep rising. Let's keep doing better for ourselves. Let's keep loving ourselves, respecting ourselves. Let's come together. And most of, let's keep being happy. And I've never been so happy as when I came to Africa. So if you want to come to Africa, please, we can help you. We're here to guide you. Okay, that's what BlaXit's about. We're your hands-on guide. Okay. So I'm going to love you and leave you, okay? But remember to love yourselves. This is the most important thing I want you to do, is to remember to love yourself. I don't business if you are weight challenged. I don't business if you have anorexia and you're thin as a rag. I don't business look in the mirror and say to yourself, I love myself, I love myself, I love myself. Because that's what they're making us do, is hate ourselves. That's why we don't even want to replicate babies that look like us. Run into the white race to go and have babies. Because we think that our babies are going to come out more attractive. Listen, it has to stop. giving all of our legacy away because you married outside your race, taking all of that legacy and giving it to a race that once enslaved your ancestors, a race that is intent on destroying this planet that we live on. That's what you want. And don't tell me about individuals. I'm not dealing with individuals. As Muhammad Ali said, if there's 10,000 snakes coming down the road, right, and 100 of them are good snakes, but they look like the bad snakes, are you going to open the door hoping that the 10 will identify themselves? No. I say get in a safe space. The safe space for me right now is Gambia in Africa. You want to come, okay? Find yourself a safe space right now. Okay, I love you, BlaXit family. Thank you for joining me, everybody. Thank you for watching. Please share this content. Please share, and please like, and please subscribe to the channel. It helps us, okay? We're just at 61,000. We should really be a lot bigger than what we are. And I know I've been a little bit inconsistent on the main channel, but that's because, like I said, they demonetized us, but also because of a number of different factors as well. And because I really want to change the content a bit, because I'm looking that there's too much of the same, and I don't want to do the same. I want to do something different. I've always been like that. I want to, lead in a different way, because I want to bring you back. So I'm looking at content that is directly based on bringing you back, and that's what's important. Okay, so that's what I'm focusing on. And so I'm talking again, aren't I? I said goodbye about 5 times. I said goodbye, and I mean goodbye, but I do like sharing information with you. So one love, BlaXit family, one destiny, one people, one Africa, one unity, one destiny. I'll see you at the same time next week, okay? 3 o'clock.